This is Bruce Boudreau, head coach of the Vancouver Canucks, and it's time for Clay's Canucks commentary live. Let's go with Clay right now.
Hey Canucks fans, and welcome to Clay's Canucks commentary live, presented to you by Van City Experts Real Estate. I am Canuck Clay Emo, and I'm joined by my guest, my son. Who are you?
Hello, my name is Sean. You can find me at Canuck_Sean, although I'm very inactive on that.
And he's obviously very confused by what we saw tonight, but I'll get into it. Let me do my intro. I told everyone that Sean would be with us, so I'm looking forward to having him here on this stream as we try and decipher what happened tonight at Rogers Arena, because we were both there. So once again, welcome. Glad you are here. Moderators, thank you in advance. Members, thanks to all of you, and to all of you that are here at 11:30 on a Monday night. Thank you. No matter where you're watching from, whether you're in my beautiful neighborhood of Steveston, in Richmond, in the city, in the Lower Mainland, in the country, in the province, country, continent, or around the world, thank you for being here. You know that I do not take you for granted. He does not take you for granted. Our family does not take you for granted as you support me on my channel and on my road to 10 Clay, even though him and Jacob just passed 30,000 on their YouTube channel. But it's not a race. We collectively have 40,000 subscribers on our two channels
and
now.
All of ours are American.
Oh, I did not know that.
And 99% male. So
yeah, and I'm sure I have at least more than one female on here.
I'd hope so.
1% maybe, but we'll see. So thank you for being here. If you're listening on the podcast platform, make sure you rate and review as well. I took a break yesterday because I was at a concert. That's why my voice is completely shot, but we both were involved with a lot of church stuff over the weekend, but we're happy to be back here. We were hoping to see a win tonight. Now, you guys know that we will go for the first 15 minutes, give our impressions of tonight's game, and then we will turn it over to you. Sean will also stay for the question and answer. So hold your questions. You can obviously, I want you to chat in the comment section, chat with each other. I may not see it though. I might not get to it unless you give me a donation or say something really nice, but otherwise I will get to you by the second half of the show. So as we get going, as always, subscribe so you can leave comments. Like this video, so it always helps us out a lot. Make sure you like the video. There's 70 of you in here, which is awesome. There's only 14 likes, so let's bump that up a little bit. Of course, you can always leave donations. You can always gift memberships to people. But most importantly, we want you chatting in the comment section. I see members. I see sponsors. I think I saw Lego Rocks in here earlier. Not sure if he's still here. We appreciate all of you. And let's get going. This game felt a little different because Carolina is a really good team. It's not like we were expected to win this game, but give me your overall impression, Sean. Overall.
Overall, you're right. They are a very good team. And I think in the third period, especially, it showed, and it felt like we were just outclassed, and they showed what a good team can do with a 2-goal lead, right? We saw the Canucks shooting right in front of us. We're in their offensive zone, and we barely saw them play.
Yeah.
Right? 3 shots in the last period is not good enough. And Carolina is so good, they're so fast, and they're so well structured that they never gave the Canucks an inch. And that was extremely frustrating to watch.
That is really good feedback. By the way, we love that Gio's here, but he called you Jacob.
Oh man, that's tough.
Well, tell him who you are.
I'm Sean Lego. I think we met once at the bowling alley. That's all good. I'll forgive you this time.
Yeah, we are thrilled that you are here, Lego. We are here. We are thrilled that everyone. He said, "Oh man, that's fine. It's all good. It's all good." When you have good-looking dad and 2 good-looking sons, we all get confused for each other.
Really?
You'd be lucky if you were confused for me.
Sure.
So what Sean was saying though was true. The shot, 39-16, and I believe the Canucks only had 3 shots in the third period. A third period where they were down by 2 goals early. A third period where they had the goalie pulled for the last 2 minutes and 20 seconds. You guys, you got to get more than 3 shots on net. You're a desperate team. You are trying to win, obviously, your first game of the year. You're trying to make sure that the fans are not booing and throwing more jerseys on the ice. It didn't, at least, let's talk about the fans for a second. It never felt, though, really ugly or uncomfortable tonight, did it?
No, because I felt on TV that first game with 10 minutes left, you could hear audible boos through the TV. Every time JT Miller touched the puck, they were booing. Every time there was a turnover, they were booing. It felt like there was a glimmer of hope almost, especially after that second goal. That there was a chance that fans were really in it until I would say the last 10 seconds, right?
Yes, no, that's true. Yeah, there wasn't any booing. There wasn't any. There's a bit of when Carolina scored their 2 goals in 37 seconds at the start of the third. It certainly let the air out of the building for sure. So let's talk about some. Let's talk about the goals, and then we'll talk about some of the Canucks players, some of our impressions. Actually, we can talk about that first before we go through the goals. We noticed that the fourth line was really strong. The line with Lazar, Pearson, and Dakota Joshua. They started the game really well, but then, unfortunately, Dakota Joshua took that penalty, that interference penalty.
Yeah.
And Carolina's power play, they're so good. Svechnikov just waiting for that one-timer. And, Horvat and Lazar didn't play that seam well, and it was a beautiful pass from Natchez, and Demko had no chance.
Yeah, what are you going to do? It's a cross crease. That's my favorite goal in NHL 22.
Yeah, I rarely score those goals. I rarely score any goals in NHL.
That's tough, right? But that's also why you got to be very disciplined. And I felt Carolina did a really good job of being disciplined.
Yep, that's fair. Then, speaking of that, though, they do take a penalty, and the Canucks power play goes to work, and they did a great job outnumbering basically 3 forwards down against 2 of Carolina's defensemen. The puck squeaks out to Horvat. JT Miller gives the beaver tail, taps for it, and a really nice pass from Horvat because Anderson could easily, I know he's kind of worried about what was happening, but he could easily try to stop that with his stick.
Yeah.
But it was a beautiful pass, and Miller tapped it in, and that was right in front of us.
That was awesome.
Yeah.
I mean, just you saw it kind of happen in slow motion when you win that board battle below the net.
Yeah.
And a beautiful goal. It gets us back into it. 1-1.
Tell them about the 2 guys we were sitting with and what one of them was wearing.
So today we have 4 tickets. We sold the other pair to a couple really good friends, bowlers, with us at our Lucky 9 Lanes Tuesday Night League. Their names are Sean, spelled differently, and Simon. And Sean actually really wanted to come to this game because unfortunately he's a big Hurricanes fan. So if you saw us on TV, you probably saw the big red Carolina jersey.
He's a big boy, great guy, and a big boy. So we all kind of had to shift over a bit in our seats, but we had a lot of fun.
It was really
and
good
he
time.
was very happy. I don't know why every time the Canucks scored, we'd be like, yeah, in your face, but we were always behind. So I'm not sure if that was the right amount of taunting.
We were tied for a little bit.
And he could probably destroy all 3 of us with one single.
Yeah. He looks like he could be a WWE wrestler, just in a bunch of squash matches.
What do you think I look like?
You look like the jobber who gets squashed.
You look like the timekeeper who rings the bell. Okay. I want to give a shout out to Clay who says, Lego Rocks, you should do more collabs with Clay Emo. I agree with that. Like this video if you think that Gio and I should do some more collabs. Of course, Parker and I are good. We're loyal. He was at the game tonight too. We were texting each other from other ends of the arena, but also open to doing other collabs as well. Mm-hmm. So it's 1-1. Then the second period was uneventful from a goals perspective. Carolina outshot the Vancouver 9-6, but obviously as these Carolina shots pile up, Demko is playing well. I think the Canucks took a couple penalties. Yeah, they took 2 penalties back to back in the second period, but they killed them off well.
Yeah, and I felt those 2 kills were really big, and it felt like big turning points in the arena. The crowd started to get into it with every dump, with every puck battle won, with every clear. So I had some hope, especially towards the end of that second period. I thought, you know what, we're going to go into the third. We're tied. We just killed 2 huge penalties.
Yeah.
Let's see what happens. Let's see what happens.
So we're all excited. Third period starts. I got to meet with Channing, my awesome ticket rep. Sean went to go see a friend from school, and then you weren't even in your seat yet. So did you see the goal?
I was watching the TV. I was 2 sections away, and then you hear that annoying music that they play whenever the other team scores.
So offensive zone draw. Petey loses it. Hoglander and Podkolzin chase the same guy behind the net. Myers makes a bad pinch on the right. Petey is supposed to be checking Sebastian Aho while Jarvis is driving the net against Ekman Larsson.
Yeah.
Ekman Larsson does a decent job because Jarvis' shot wasn't that strong.
No, he pushes him out to the outside.
Yeah.
And maybe you could say Demko should have had that.
Well, yeah, he got lost in his pads a little bit.
But Pettersson on the back check just loses his guy.
And Aho, he's bigger, so Aho and Pettersson were kind of battling at the blue line, but you see that that's the will to compete, and I'm not knocking Petey at all. He's one of my favorite players. I thought he was fine tonight. But Aho wins that battle, and then he just taps it in. So now it's 2-1.
And maybe that's just the Canucks not having anything in the third period, which we've seen over and over again. Just not coming out excited, ready to play. I mean, that was what? How many seconds in? 50 seconds in?
Yeah.
What happens if you get through the first 5 minutes tied, right?
Yeah, and Bruce Boudreau even said after the game, like, same thing in another game where the Canucks were either tied or leading, to come out so flat was a poor reflection. They just didn't look ready at all. Because 37 seconds later, Jesper Fast scores. This one, I think it was the Garland, Kuzmenko, Oman line, the third line. They were caught puck watching in the neutral zone. Bit of a fluky goal, but Eric Stahl it became a quick, a mini 2-on-1. Stahl flips it towards Fast, and when we first saw it, we actually thought it was a good goal. Like we didn't see a distinct kicking motion.
No, and even when they played it on the Jumbotron, you saw it live. You knew it went off the skate.
Yeah.
But it's happened so fast, and all he has to do is
That's because his name's Jesper Fast.
Yeah. So all he needed to do is put his skate at the right angle, and it goes in, and it's a tough situation to challenge, right?
It is.
You're down 3-1. If you lose, you put them back on the power play, and then the wind is gone.
The game's over. You got it. And then those directed and not directed ones are so tricky because there is a normal skating motion though too. Because the more I watched the replay, the more I thought, oh man, because I'm biased. Maybe he did direct it in. Mm-hmm. Maybe he did turn his leg, but that's also consistent with the move of trying to stop and not go into the boards or go into the post, right? So that was tough to say.
Oh, we also had the goal disallowed earlier in the game, right? So
that was maybe fortunate.
Maybe fortunate for us. So how many of these good opportunities or lucky bounces, whatever you want to call it, can the Canucks really screw up at this point?
Yeah.
It just feels like everything. It just feels like the wind is at our face, the ice is tilted. Whatever you want to say, it's just not working.
Yeah,
nothing's working.
But glimmer of hope halfway through the third period, clearing. A dumping attempt goes off of Kotkaniemi's face. He's clutching his face. That
was awesome.
The puck falls, kind of rolling on end, and JT Miller just says, "Thank you very much." Slaps it past shocked Anderson, I'm sure, and then Kotkaniemi's like this. We're like this, and maybe there's a glimmer of hope.
Nice shot. It was really nice.
You were
shot.
laughing at
I was laughing my head off. I thought that was great. It was like, remember we went to that Colorado game where the Canucks were wearing their black skate jerseys down late in the third. I think someone
Matt Calvert.
Yeah, he was just lying
because the puck hit him in the face.
Yeah. And then Besser scores.
Sean likes it when the opponents get hit in the face,
especially when it's right in front of me. I mean, come on.
Yeah, it was. But after that, Carolina didn't give the Canucks a sniff, and I think we started this show by saying, of course, we want to see them win, but we're not surprised, nor are we overly upset because this is a team that should be one of the class teams in the league in the Eastern Conference, and we just saw the speed and the skill that this team has up front with guys like Aho and Jarvis and the veteran stats, and Svechnikov, Fast, Kotkaniemi, Teravainen, Necas. There's a 7 to 8 guys that are relentless, and you mentioned that you didn't think the Canucks defensemen had enough time to move the puck.
No, I saw their breakout, and we see our breakout, and it looks completely different. Because how many times were we hemmed in our own zone, not able to get it past their defenseman, right?
Yeah.
And how many times do we dump the puck in, the defenseman wins one board battle, and all of a sudden it's going through the neutral zone with speed.
Yep.
Something we talked about, I thought Brent Burns looked really good. I haven't seen him live for a long time, and I just think he's an old, washed-up man, but he just makes the right play at the right time. On the power play, I think he got a point. How many points? Yeah, on the power play, I think he had the first assist.
25 minutes, the most of any Carolina Hurricane.
Yeah.
Wow. Okay. So Canucks fans, just as we head towards the transition point, the middle, I think we should talk about JT Miller real quick. He was getting a lot of heat over the past couple days. Performance on Saturday night, his comments today, which I was fine with. The fact that he says, people want to throw their S on the ice. That's up to them.
Yeah, it's up to them. I've got a job to do, he says.
Yes, he's got a job to do. It's up to people. They want to waste $200-$300 by throwing away a jersey. Had 2 goals, had 4 hits, still had a couple giveaways. And I got an interesting text from my friend. My friend Charlie, we always talk about the Canucks, and he sent me this, and I'm gonna read it because I thought it was interesting. This is what he said, and then we're gonna use this as the transition to the halfway point. Check this out. This from Charlie. Don't be fooled by Miller getting goals. He's a zero-sum player. Actually, he hurts us more than helps us. If we keep deluding ourselves into thinking that he's our star, our team won't have sustained success. Miller is a good individual stat guy, but not someone who makes your team win. The amount of low percentage passes he attempts and fails, and the consistency in which he plays bad defense outweighs all the goals and points he gets for himself. As long as Bruce and the team see him as our primary play driver and go-to guy, the Canucks will be losers. I'm a Canuck fan, not a JT Miller fan, and he's bad for the rest of the guy's success. Don't be fooled by his 2-goal night. Wow, strong. We're not going to comment on that.
It's a bold take.
Yeah, not because we agree or disagree. We want to know what you think. So as I go into my mid-show sponsor read, talk about anything. Talk about Charlie's comments about JT Miller. Talk about what stood out to you from tonight's game, and we will get to some of your comments. So first and foremost, you can't see it behind my face. I'll just move like this. Oh, no, it's this way. Thanks to my lead sponsor, Van City Experts Real Estate. Contact Jason Lim and his team for all of your real estate needs. Actually, I should probably not block the logo. I kind of sit like this. Also, thank you to my secondary sponsor, Perform and Transform Personal Training and Weight Loss. Sign up now for a free 7-day trial. Use the link that's flashing across the bottom of your screen, performandtransform.ca/CanuckClay, and Coach Patrick will take care of you. Also, thank you to Gassy Jack Art, maker of that fine artwork. Thank you to Monkey 9 Brewing, my eternal sponsor. And thank you to Vessi Footwear. Use the code CanuckClay at checkout and receive $15 off every pair of Vessi shoes that you buy. I just realized Van City Experts was across my face the whole time.
It's all good. That's a good ad read. It's growing.
Yeah, tell you, move over a tiny bit that way. Just a bit. Okay, there.
All right.
Yeah, no, 5 sponsors is pretty cool. Let's get to your comments now. Would love to know what you thought about tonight's game and about JT Miller and any of your questions that you have for us. Johnny Canuck says, I agree with that guy. That guy's Charlie, but thank you, Johnny. Hi, Clay and Sean. How are you guys? We're good. What do you think the Canucks need to do better in order for them to win games consistently?
I'm good, first of all. Thank you. What do they need to do better? I don't like to say this, but I think it's mindset. I think it's not...
Okay, I think we're good now. Okay, so what do the Canucks have to do? No, I wasn't muted for the whole time. I was just muted like right now. Yeah.
The Canucks need to come in, I think, with a winning mindset. You know, I think it's hard and it's easy for me to say, not being in the locker room, not knowing what the dynamic is like. But at the end of the day, you're professionals. You got to go out there. You're the best. You're some of the best athletes in the world. And you don't get to that level without that killer instinct. And I think they're so down on themselves right now that they just got to turn that around. What do you think?
I think, it comes down to pride now, wanting it more, winning every single battle. Bruce agrees with Charlie. Vac says, I agree, Miller's making very low IQ plays.
I thought he wasn't making that many mistakes tonight. Maybe it's just because he was on the wing, or maybe it wasn't as noticeable.
Actually, yeah, that's true. That was a big difference. We should have brought that up, that he played on Horvat's wing today. Jasker says, I agree, maybe we should have traded Miller. I think we're just overshadowing or overvaluing him with his 99 points. Jay says, JT over Bull all day, every day. Hello, Jay. Clay says, I really should be asleep, but I'm watching a stream. Thank Clay's from Toronto. So
wow.
It's coming up.
Almost 3
it's coming up at 3 a.m. So
shout out to Clay, man.
Clay is one of the MVPs in here for sure, not just because he's got a cool name. I know that's not his real name, though. That's okay. Do you think Puma should retire? Fangirl, that's a little early to say. Obviously, we want him to be healthy, and but yeah, we also don't want him suffering repeated concussions if that's what this is. Lundqvist, Hito, and a New York first looking real good. Yes, had this conversation in Lego with many of my friends for sure. Canucks power play struggles when the opposing team has an aggressive style penalty kill. Mm-hmm. Carolina's penalty killers did not give Canucks... Yeah, we saw that with PD especially.
Yeah.
They did not give him a sniff.
And their style in general is just so aggressive, right? Because they're fast enough to recover if they get beat.
Yeah, I agree. They're very aggressive. Mark, I agree. He has to go. Hopefully we can get something for him. Wow, everyone turning on Miller.
Wow, that was fast.
I appreciate that, Jace, but the blame is on... Okay, you're probably talking about something else. That's good. Vax, I was preaching for a Miller trade in the offseason. We could have gotten great returns. Yeah, Sean and I were talking about this on the ride home. His value decreases as that contract starts to kick in, I think. Why Besser can't score? He's slow. He's not a slow thinker. He's a good hockey IQ. Slow skater, slow release. Justin, I thought it was tightly contested game. By the way, we saw Justin and Andrew, two of our legends tonight. Thank you. Despite the shot counter until the third period span of 37 seconds. I think the Canucks are trying, but it's rough now. Riley, hopefully I can go to a game with you in Vancouver. Sure, come on up. What do they need to do better? Everything. Prez versus a contender, every other forward was invisible except JT. Nobody could create anything except Miller. Sure, he gives the puck away sometimes, but not like Horvat or PD. Not like Horvat, PD are perfect either. No, that's a fair description for sure. Here's the one for you. What do you think will happen first? Coach getting fired or Canucks player getting traded?
I think that coach goes first. I think that the management group is a little afraid. It feels like they're a little afraid to make a decision or a panicky decision, if that makes sense. And I think that's the first chip to fall.
I think they don't want to pay three coaches. You're still paying Green. You're going to have to play Boudreau, and you're going to have to pay your third coach. I think it's going to be a player, but it might not be as big as people expect. Taylor didn't watch the game tonight due to his studies. Good for you. Got your priorities. I see the team played better defense by not letting too many goals. And yeah, if you look at the stat line, Demko was great. Easily his best game of the year. Yeah, for sure. Are you still going to pay to go to games? Kind of have to.
Kind of have to. Yeah. But that's okay, because if they turn it around, we can go on a heater.
You can't win them all, but you can lose them all. Sadly, that's true so far. Where was PD tonight? Actually, he was okay. I thought he was okay.
I think he generates. I really like him. I really like how him and Podkolzin have looked all season. I think that's kind of one of my positive takeaways. I think they play fast, and I think Podkolzin is bringing a nice physicality. There's a nice big hit in front of us.
Yeah.
So I think Pettersson's he's fine. I'm not, out of the entire team, I'm not worried about Pettersson.
Ditto. Edmund, JT was our best player tonight. Justin, that first power play goal was unfortunate, unstoppable, and the other two were based on breakdowns in the third. Overall, I think besides that the Canucks did a lot better tonight, but they need 60 minutes. Agree with everything you said, Justin, and the fact that Carolina is simply a really, really good team. Jason says, are we going to win on Thursday against Seattle, in Seattle, or Friday at home against Pittsburgh?
I really hope we can beat a Seattle Kraken team.
I want to give a shout out to Kaya May. Wonderful Kaya is one of the there's three of us together. That's what I'm trying to say. 3 hosts of Game Over Vancouver. They rarely put us all 3 on the same show, but Kaya May ran it today. She let out the loudest scream I've ever heard. I was listening to it upstairs, and it woke up my neighbor who lives 2 streets over. Kaya, I'm glad you're here, and I'll watch the rest of your stream later. We were driving home, but we were definitely talking about you. And if you haven't checked out Game Over Vancouver on the Steve Dangle Podcast Network, make sure you do so. Kaya is like our starter. She's our Demko. Sam is like our Spencer Martin, and I'm like the old guy, the third stringer. So I'm calling Delia, but Delia is getting the start on Thursday night. I'll be doing the next one. So Kaya, thanks for being here, and keep up the great work. Love working with you. Thoughts on Horvat?
Well, he played with Miller, and Miller scored 2 goals. Yep. So he was on the ice for both times. The first goal was all because of Horvat.
Yep.
Right?
Yep.
Being strong on the puck, finding Miller, making the right read, and making the right pass. Otherwise, he didn't do too much for me. Yeah. I know he got 2 really bad icing calls against him. But, yeah, nothing really stands out to me, but nothing that concerns me either.
Yeah, Horvat's not much of a playmaker. We know he's a shoot-first center. So what was interesting is with Miller likes to have the puck too. So I didn't notice Horvat carrying the puck as much tonight because maybe Miller was on his line. Jason, Advanced Experts, he's not even looking at Thursday. He's not even looking at Friday. Man, he's not even looking at next Tuesday.
We still have a week and a...
He is looking at Thursday the 3rd when we host Anaheim as our first best chance to win. Riley says, I think the Canucks need to do some soul searching. I think that's completely fair. Women's hoops, do you think each Canuck players are giving 100% each game? No, I don't actually. I don't think they're trying to they're not trying to get the coach fired or anything, but I would love to see more effort. Ricky, the moment that this team shows up in 3 periods and when they're going to start to win games, that's a great point.
They got to start somewhere, though.
I think they're being outscored 17-2 or something in the third period.
Something ridiculous, but how do you break that habit?
Jasker and Demko had a really good game. I hope to meet you both sometime soon. Really, he wants to meet you and Jacob. I don't think Jaskran really... Well, Jaskran, though, he has been much more complimentary to me in the last 3 months. Which is
I can't wait to meet Jaskran. Seems like a good guy.
Japan. So, I know who this is. I know what he's referring to. Hey, Sean, who was the ref tonight?
Was it the fatty?
Yeah. Was that from my live stream?
It was from something, but there is a...
Be careful.
He would have a questionable BMI for someone who should skate with professional athletes. And I think because of his lack of fitness, so to say, he was a little behind the play and couldn't make rational decisions.
Jastrin lecture Sean is it the Bruce, Jason King has to go. They can't even enter the offensive zone. Should have been let go when the rest of the coaches got fired. Perez, if JT was homegrown, he would be loved. This market adores homegrown players to the draft, puts them on a pedestal. That's why most say PD over Miller. And then I guess you could argue Horvat, Besser, Hughes is okay. Riley, I'm not sure if I'm the best strategist, but what are you laughing?
What would you do behind the bench?
Okay, you say that you're a good athlete, right?
Sure.
I
was a good athlete.
Where do you think you get that from?
What does
Honestly,
that have to do with you being a coach?
It means that not only have I the physical tools, but I also have the mental tools.
So besides my 10-year-old ball hockey team, what qualifies you to be behind the
Volleyball
bench?
coach, I took Jacob's team to 2 gold medals. I did.
That's true.
Yeah.
That's true.
Yeah.
Good job.
Show more respect. Will Bruce ever win number 600?
Maybe next year.
Or will we get fired? No, he'll win it. He'll win it on Thursday. We can't beat Seattle. We're in trouble. Bruce is only signed for 1 more year. I agree with Sean. The coach is likely to go by the end of the season. Yes, but the question was, does he go first or does the Canucks player get traded first? And I think a Canucks player will get traded first. Would Canucks draft Bedard? Yeah, if they had the chance.
Yeah, if we win the lottery, I would hope so.
Yes. Everyone is talking about the T word, but I don't say that T word, Sean. Do you?
Do you want me to read it?
Go ahead.
Everyone is talking about tanking to get Connor Bedard. I think they shouldn't tank, but if they were, this, like Elliot Freeman said, this would be the year. Bring the hometown kid home.
I know. It's all lining up that way. Kaya May, defense was better tonight than has been, but still evident missing Dermott, Stillman, and Hughes out there. Yeah, I agree. Stillman maybe not so much, but you're missing 3 of your top 6 in Hughes, Dermott, and Pullman. I agree with that.
What did you think of Breezeball tonight?
I thought he was fine for what he did. He was brought in, called up today, and he was fine. He made safe plays. Mm-hmm. Yeah, you?
Yeah, I thought he was fine. I think the bottom 3 of our defense wasn't anything to really get excited about.
Yeah.
Thought Rathbone again showed good skating but questionable decision making, and I think that's something we're gonna have to get used to.
Yes. William was asking you, will you run around in your house in just your underwear if we drafted Bedard?
Probably not in my underwear. Just run around.
What, you mean with no clothes?
Maybe. I would be very excited.
Can you warn me if you do that?
Sure, when we watch the lottery draft.
So if we win the lottery, and we get number 1, you're gonna strip right there and start running around?
No, maybe I'll watch it in my room and I'll just run around my bedroom a bunch of times.
Well, that's no different than what you usually do.
Thanks.
Lily, don't know why leaders do not just hit other players' first few shifts, get teammates and crowd in the game. Yeah, risk injury, but risk a penalty. But I hear what you're saying. Look, I get the fandom, but don't you agree the team didn't improve at the draft and free agency? So why the hype? That's fair, but the hype was a stronger forward group, a better goalie tandem, a coach that is a proven winner, but a very suspect defense.
Mm-hmm. And I think Kuzmenko, Mikheyev, Joshua, they were expected to do more. So I would say the team that started this year, if healthy, was still better than the team that we ended with last year.
That's fair. Well, misery loves company. 140 people in here.
Wow. 140 depressed Canucks fans.
Yes. 38 likes, which
us.
is good. And I'm not... you're welcome. We're going to go for another 5 or 6 minutes. You're welcome to keep chatting. You're welcome to leave donations, gift memberships. But most importantly, keep putting comments in the chat. We might not get to all of them, which is great. I mean, because we are about 7 minutes behind in the chat. So we will go faster. What's the possibility of Horvat not resigning?
High now.
Yeah, I think... I don't think it's a matter of him not resigning. If the Canucks catch any wind of that, they may have to move him. Thoughts on Rathbone?
Good skater, questionable decision making.
Yeah. Clay says our first win will come against the Leafs. I don't want to wait that long. Would you rather the Canucks miss the playoffs or just purposely lose as many games without being sketchy to get Bedard?
To get Bedard, we're gonna have to blow. You're gonna have to do a lot, I think, to get in the sweepstakes.
Kaya says, "Thank you for the hype. You're awesome, Clay." No, Kaya, you are awesome. At this point, what's the point of us winning? We don't get better, and we ruin our draft chances.
I mean, I think the market still wants to see us win. I think it's good for business if we're winning, but a big picture, who knows? Who knows?
Carol, I was wondering. Hi, Sean. I was wondering about how close you are to 10K, and I thought the
Canucks.
Yeah, she uses voice to text, so she calls me
okay.
Play, which is like kind of my nickname. The Canucks play better. It's just too bad for the first 2 goals in the beginning and third. Agree with you completely, Carol. It was unfortunate, and yeah, I'm getting there. I'm at 94.30, so I'm a little bit behind. But if the streams are continue to be this big, and if the Canucks actually start winning some games,
Yeah.
I think that's going to pick up. So thanks to all of you for supporting me, for sure. What's the longest team never got a win? I thought I saw, I think Jason texted me something like it's 17 games or something
17.
like that. Jason Lim says Jason King definitely has to go. The supporting coaches suck. Jason not a happy camper tonight.
Jason is not happy with this team.
Texting me all night, for sure. Jaskrin loved when you said, Sean, is it that fatty?
Probably was. No wonder I couldn't see anything on the ice.
Refs kind of sucked. I don't know. The Canucks got 2 power play chances. The Hurricanes got 3. I didn't think it was that poor, quite frankly. Harry says the Canucks need to bring back Besser, Hughes, Dermott, Stillman, Pullman. Yes, they do, but you can't bring them back.
Not really up to them, right?
Which player will return from the line next game? And do you think? Well, Stillman and Besser are day to day. Hughes and Pullman, Hughes and Dermott are week to week, and Pullman is long term. So it'll be going in that kind of order. Cheshire Cat, I saw your comment, but I won't read it. But if you want to have that opinion about Phil Kessel's sister, then that's fine. Did they seem to turn the music louder to drown out the boos? Because that's what they did on Saturday when I went. Every time the fans booed, they turned the music louder. No booing though.
No
I didn't
booing.
hear.
No, but I think they definitely played more sing-alongable songs just to kind of keep the crowd in it. And then I think you mentioned that they were playing some crowd noise, some kind of white noise in the background.
I could hear some crowd noise pumping through, for sure. Well, Besser looks invisible tonight, Andy, because he didn't play, so very hard to see him. Actually, he literally was invisible tonight. Cheshire Cat, you just go look up Phil Kessel's sister yourself. I'm not gonna do that here. Japan says you guys can both go streaking down number 3 road.
Number 3 road, run to McDonald's, past Church and Center.
Who do you think would get more honks if we both ran?
This is a question I'm not answering. Let's move on.
Oh man, I think it's time to wrap up pretty soon. Let's go for it. Jaskrin, Mikheyev is making 4.75 for another 4 years after this.
That's a classic Canucks contract, isn't it?
Yeah, he has not looked good. It's been 4 games now. He's got to pick it up.
Yeah, I don't know what it is. Maybe he's just not in a line that can let him use his speed. Maybe it's the system. Just doesn't look good.
Is this worse than the Messier era? Not yet, but it's starting to feel that way, Edmund, for sure. I think the Canucks don't want you to get to 10K. That's why they're losing. Maybe not, but I've hinted. Last week I hinted of my secret project with the Canucks. I think that's coming to fruition in the next week or so. So hopefully I'll be able to talk about that a bit more. Hey Sterling, nice to hear from you. I was at the game against Buffalo. What a gong show! It looked like it. Kevin Cam,
My boy, Kevin Cam.
he's your boy.
Yeah.
Your boy. When are these boys going to turn it around?
Better be Thursday. We'll see.
Who's Kevin? Tell me about Kevin.
Kevin was our CVC president during my first year, so he helped me a lot.
Awesome. Welcome, Kevin. You're always welcome. Cheshire, we would never boot you. You're allowed to talk about admiring people, but that doesn't mean I have to put it out. No, I'm happy you're here. I won't get you wrong, nor will I boot you. No need to apologize. All good. How many more losses until Bruce is fired? Man, if they get to the end of... If they get to BX... Maybe
I give
2...
him 3 more.
Yeah, 2 or 3 more. Oh,
End of the
gosh.
week, right?
Yeah.
I don't know.
SMW, did they play any Punjabi music? Yes. Was there a performance during intermission? Yes and yes. Is it Jaggy B? No, who's the singer? Juggy did the anthems.
Yes,
And-
I'm not sure.
And the other guy did the no, I better not say it. Lego, if you all are going down number 3 road near the mall, you may see me on a walk. Yes, I've seen your Instagram stories, Lego Rocks, where you're either walking or blading down 3 road. So if you see two
Excited Canucks fans.
excited,
Not happy.
happy, easy there.
Relax.
Who's to blame? The new camera angle or Rip the dog? We are 0-7 with both.
Oh my gosh. Please don't blame the dog. The poor dog.
Yes. And there's thought in Hoglander's game, he was moving. I think him and Puck Hosen, they were definitely trying to create. They just didn't have a lot of room out there. Nice to see you, Chris.
Jazzy B.
Last thing, Jazzy B, thank you. Last thing I'll say, because we are going to wrap up, we're 36 minutes in. Last thing I'll say is this. As we wrap up, on a scale of 1 to 10, wait, this will be the last one for sure, and then I'll ask this. Are you planning on getting NHL 23 anytime soon?
I don't think so.
No rush?
No rush.
That's fair.
I hear it's pretty similar to 22, but if someone wants to let me know in the comments, please do.
And inspired by Cheshire Cat's post, not about Phil Kessel's sister, but about the panic level, tell me, as we wrap up, on a scale of 1 to 10, how panicked are you as a Canucks fan right now? 10 being, oh my gosh, the sky is falling. 0 or 1 being, we still got to chill. We just got to go on a bit of a run and scratch and claw our way back to 500. So on a scale of 1 to 10, let me know. I'm not sure how this happens. Sean said 37.
It's a big number.
This guy said 1 million. We even got decimal points in there, 7.4.
Nice.
So yeah, keep putting numbers in, and I'll make sure that I won't highlight every single one, but I'll definitely make sure that I read all your comments later. Okay, friends. Sean, thanks for joining me tonight.
It was a lot of fun. Thank
Yeah.
you for chatting long. All 100. I think we had 140 at one point.
Yeah, that was pretty cool.
It's pretty cool to see that there's 140 people very frustrated with a hockey team.
So I will be Canucks After Dark. Parker and me will be tomorrow night at 10. Then I'll do a quick stream at 11 before my church hour. That's tomorrow night. Then Wednesday night I'll be back. Oh, I'm emceeing an event, so that might be rough. And then Thursday, double duty. I have Game Over Vancouver, and then my own stream here as well. So thank you very much to everyone who is here. Moderators, thank you. I know you're doing a bit of work today. There are a lot of people. No word games, Coach Rob. We are skipping them tonight. It's already midnight. I got to rest my voice.
Past midnight.
Yeah, you guys can go play them, though, for sure. You don't have to have me do it on the stream. But moderators, thank you. Members, legendary Lucas Gates, who is working the game. Legendary Just Incredible, legendary Andrew Chang, who we saw at the game. Thanks to all of you, and thanks to Hall of Fame franchise members as well. Thanks for all of your support. I want to thank the sponsors, primary sponsor, lead sponsor, Advanced City Experts Real Estate. Jason's in the chat tonight. And secondary sponsor, Perform Transform, Personal Training and Weight Loss. And finally, to everyone who subscribed during this live stream as well. We appreciate you. No donations, no new members, which is fine. Those usually happen more when the Canucks win. Most importantly, we appreciate that you took some time to be with us tonight. So got a good dad joke ready for you. So get ready. But as always, check out the podcast episode tomorrow or later on tonight. If you listen on the podcast, rewatch this, and thank you for continuing to support me on the channel. You know, it looks like truly I was not begging for donations. I would actually do this channel without the donations and without the monetization. You guys know how much I appreciate it, though, because then I'm able to treat the kids or Gil or upgrade equipment, whatever it is, with some of the money that you guys do donate, which I totally appreciate. So Paul, thank you very much for the donation. Let's give Paul some love.
Shout out to Paul, man.
On the way out. So as always, stay safe, stay healthy, take care. Jaskin doesn't believe me. Take care of yourselves and take care of each other. And a little while ago, my wife Gail told me that I ruined her birthday. But I didn't even know it was her birthday. God bless, and go Canucks go. Booyah.